For example, Pastor Nob, have you seen Ephesians chapter 5, verse 17? That one. I'm just trying to put it, He said we are to walk circumspectly. We are to walk in wisdom. That's what that means. We shouldn't be unwise. We should walk in wisdom, understanding what the will of the Lord is. But you are supposed to start from verse 15. So, hello, yeah. See that you walk in wisdom and not as fools, but as wise. Become circumspect. Become prudent. Then verse 16. How do you do it? One of the ways you do it is by what? Redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Those who live in the last days needs to learn this scripture. In Psalm 90 verse 12 he said, teach us to number our days that we may apply our hearts to what? Wisdom. So anytime you see a wise man, you will see it in how he handles and manages his time. And Psalm 90 said, stop celebrating birthdays. No, he's not telling you not to celebrate your birthday. Stop counting years. When a year complete, he said, I'm now 50. No. He said, start counting days. Break time down to the smallest component and start getting control of your time by what you do with it. So here is the point. He said what you have to do is to redeem your time. Redeem means to purchase back, buy back your time. Just like redemption means Jesus paid the price to buy us back from slavery. So if you watch that one, just redeeming time alone. Other people create money. They say use money to buy back time. So do you know what people like us do? Why I can afford to be here, be with you, spend this kind of time is because what I should have been doing with that time in terms of pursuit of money, I pay other people to do it. If you want to hit the peak of who you are created to be, you cannot be involved in the rat race, day to day pursuing money. People like that never rise beyond certain level. This is what I need to let you know. To the wealthy, wealth is not money. Part of wealth, there are 5 definitions of wealth. One of them is value. If you can start creating things that solve problems that other people need, that's wealth. That's what you have. Then you learn to market it. For example, there is another definition. Wealth is asset. Anything you buy that is constantly losing its value is not wealth, it's a liability. Oh, you don't know? So every time they bring a new brand of iPhone, you already have an iPhone that is very good. You go again and buy. Next year, they will make that one you bought obsolete by introducing a new brand. And it's actually something, they just change 1 or 2 things. But you know, the moment you just remove the carton, open it, and walk out of the shop, you have not made any call yet. You bring it and say, no, I want to sell it. People will offer you less than half the value. Yeah, there is another way your phone can be an asset. It's when that thing becomes connected to your business. It becomes like your laptop, becomes like all those other things in it that you use it to do, to create, makes it an asset. But if it's just phone, to be chatting, pinging, and all of those things. So you see, like your fashion. You go buy. And that's where you waste most of the money. Liability. You're just acquiring liabilities. There is a way your clothing can become part of your asset. if it is built into your branding, because your brand is one of your greatest assets. So because it goes with your work and goes with, then it's different. So when I was in Harvard, they taught us, when you create anything that makes money, keep about 20, and in some cases up to 30% of it. Use it to pay other people to do some of those things that you do that waste your time, so you can give yourself to the creating of higher values. So don't eat all. Use a portion of what you are earning to create wealth for other people. Because what happens is that most people that you bring to work for you, once they move to that level where they know the secrets of the business, they will leave and create the competition. And sometimes you lose some of your clients to them. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So you give them equity. Give them some sense of ownership. Not just salaries. So they will sometimes give them 5% or 10% equity, get 3 key guys and give them that kind of thing to drive that company to its maximum level, while they use their time to invest in higher values. Oh, okay. Are you guys hearing what I'm saying? Somebody said, but Pastor, I can't afford a maid. I can't afford a maid. Can you afford not to be your maximum? I can't afford a maid. Can you afford not to reach your peak? So you're going to die with 35,000 euro when you can be earning 250, because you're willing to give away a little portion so that somebody can free your time for you. Part of how you redeem your time is through delegation. There are a lot of things you are obsessed with. Delegate them. A pastor, your Saturdays, you are supposed to be somewhere cooking what you're going to serve people, meditating. You are out running around, you're looking for this, you are carrying equipment, you're delegate, so you can concentrate on higher values. You see now, I'm going to challenge you guys, because I did this in UK, and this is where I end with you guys. I checked the average earning in that nation is between 25 to 30,000 pounds annually. That's what people earn. And if we come here now and do investigation, you'll be surprised what you'll find. It's the same Europe. 25 to 30 annually. Yet, if you leave those people and go up, you see people that are making millions of pounds. When will you move up to where you can earn annually 500,000 euro, 1 million euro? You think it's beyond you? Where you can create 5 million euro a year. Can you find a course that requires that? A purpose that demands it? Like financing the gospel. All these things you use here. You've been here for 3 days. You think they are free. What about buying one? What about buying a bigger one for future conferences? What about even building a hotel and let the hotel be functioning, but we have a big auditorium for events where we can do this kind? Do you know what it takes to drive the gospel? The gospel is free, but the means of spreading it is costly. Do you know what it means to take your prime time media in this country and pay prime time for just 1 month for them to advertise? Can you find a purpose that would demand that? Like you want to fix an aspect of society. There is a group of people, children, it might be young people, and you're going to put in certain amount of funds to go after them, to reach them. Watch. It has to do with the level of value you're creating, the level of problem you're going to be solving, the level of services you're going to be rendering. Watch. The lowest, there are 4. There are actually 5, but let me just put 4 here, and I don't even know if I'll get to the end of 4 levels of value creation. The lowest is implementation. This is what you call workers, laborers, employees. They pay you to do the work. They are the ones that... And since the culture here conditions everybody to just get a job and just do the rat race, that's where most people are. Anywhere you go, the people who do the work are the least paid. There is a higher level than this, level 2. It's unification. You know what this is? Management. Managers. If you find a way, that's why redeeming the time is very important. To upgrade your skills so that you can move to management level. Because at management level, you don't do the work, you coordinate the people that do the work. That's why it's called unification. You unify the efforts of different people to achieve a common goal. You manage human resources as well as the processes involved. You can move to that level. There are some of them that are ending 3 times. Some of them 4 times. Some of them 5 times. It might require taking an additional course, management courses. It will require sharpening your skill beyond just doing the work. Look at what it means. If you employ these 5 guys and they're all doctors, you pay them. What's the best, what they pay entrance doctors here in Holland? Who knows? Give me an idea. At least doctors. No, per annum. There's somebody who can speak with authority. No. Entrance ones because are not like that. Between 60 to 70 in that range. Okay, let me even expand it to 80. 5 of you are all doctors. You are earning 80. You're doing well, but you can style it. If I take these 2, train them to now manage. And you know what happens? Sometimes at that moment, you do only specialized jobs. You don't do the general thing anymore. You know what you do? You coordinate the doctors, the nurses, the hospital. You manage all of these resources, both human and material, and to deliver the job. You run the hospital. I own it. Take the job and run it for me. And it doesn't just have to be the CEO of the hospital. It can be just sectional manager. You can start earning on a higher level than the guys that do the job. Meanwhile, you all came out of school at the same time. Hello? Yes, sir. This can distinguish one pastor and another pastor. One pastor just has the skills to do ministerial tasks. Another one has wisdom to organize, to manage a lot of labor, to accomplish a bigger goal. That's what makes a mega church pastor. He keeps recruiting, deploying more hands so we can move into unification level. A bishop is not necessarily the best preacher. There is a third level called communication. And as you move up at these layers, your earning can multiply by 10. Between a lower range to up to 10. 10 times what it was before. You see, they're all still doctors. And they have trained to move to management. Administer the whole hospital. The other ones, their colleagues, will now be answering them, sir. If I pick this one, that is not a manager, he's not a manager yet, and train him on communication. So instead of doing the job of treating patients, his job now is to communicate to the whole public everything we're doing here. And because of what he's doing, he can be on a blog, on media, on whatever. He starts pulling multitude. I want you to watch. If you are in fashion business and you are with your friends and you're all making clothes and selling in Holland, and you decide to add communication to your own, so you brand what you're doing, you come out with a core mission, a purpose behind this, you go on air. You use different methods of communication. You can have a weekly blog. You can have a week. In this digital age, this man will end up earning sometimes even 10 times the manager. Can reach the level of beating all of your hands down. But he's a doctor like you. So what he does, he employs other doctors to do the work while he engages the public. So even if he is still practicing, because you can be doing all of that, even if this guy is still practicing, but he has learned communication. The people that listen to him, educate them, listen to this guy as he gives all kinds of free medical advice, education on helping the public to improve their health. He talks about issues of women. He talks about the people. There are millions of doctors, but the public will trust him with their problems more than they will trust the other. That's what you're beginning to see online. You see doctor this, that, who handles this kind of problems. Even judges are beginning to do that. You have a Judge Judith or Judge this. They are becoming richer than judges. Becoming richer than 100 of their colleagues put together. So the point is, you are not just a career person doing level 1. When Jesus gave you the gospel to communicate, he elevated you to level 3. Package yourself well so you don't just communicate the message, that in communicating it, you're also presenting yourself right. It will elevate you to a level of earning that all your years of career will never get you to. There's some things I don't want to say, I have watched communication. Some ladies go into it, they will never get married. They have destroyed their chance of ever getting married because they did not know what that thing does. They go there, they are the ones destroying themselves before the public. Meanwhile, you can be doing drama, you can be doing music, but softly you are telling every man, this is the kind of wife you want to have. But you can go into music and softly you are telling the whole world, I'm a prostitute. A young girl, single girl, went on air to start a blog. You know, she went there to bash men, to, and one day I met her with some gray hair. I knew her many years ago. Years passed. I saw her now with gray hair. She wants to be married. But she has destroyed every chance of ever. Because what she went on her is to tell everybody this type can never be married. No man can handle me. So you might think it's clothes I came out here to sell. It's not just clothes, it's yourself. So those who understand it, they are careful how they present themselves, as well as presenting whatever else they are there. You are the product, apart from whatever your product or your message is. Hello. In this digital age, and then if you have created something that is valuable, move to level 3 so the world can know and buy it. To receive favor, to be shown favor, you have to be heard or seen. That's the message of Mordecai to the little girl called Esther. Don't stay here. You're a good girl, but you are hiding inside the house. Nobody will know that you are here. The girls are going to meet the king. Go there and join them. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? That's the message of the grandmother or the elderly woman called Naomi to Ruth. You're a beautiful girl. You're a good girl. But don't stay here in the house. There's nobody here. There's 2 women here. The men are out there in the farm harvesting crops. Go there. It is not, but remember when you get there, it's not just yam and millet you are harvesting. You are selling yourself. How you talk to people, how you conduct yourself matters. Be aware of that. So when you go there, behave well. You will see the husband you'll be looking for. Sometimes they make you church administrator, you're a woman. You forget that you are still single. Maybe you know one administrator, Mama Gio, that is bossing everybody around. You want to copy that. That one has married. You are still single. Your market is still. So do your admin, but use it as an opportunity, not just to do the function, to present yourself. Opportunities you have to touch life, touch that. Be nice to people. You are a manager in your office. You are front desk. You are the one that welcome everybody that come into this company. Don't you know they put you right there in front of TV? Or you don't know, you are waiting till you are on media. You are a receptionist. That's opportunity to meet some of the most powerful people. If your organization is one organization, to meet, build contact, build relationship. You don't know. Right there, you can get one contact that will send you to the palace. Just how you treat people, the extra time, the attention, the niceness you communicate. Be aware of these things. And then you don't dress anyhow. Okay, for example, this is church. Do you know the day you meet the buyer that is coming to buy your product? So why will you be anyhow? You see how beautiful you're looking. But you have already been bought, you are out of the market. No more available. But there are other things you are trying to sell, including yourself, not your body, because your husband has already collected that one. But there are other aspects of you. So why will you be anyhow? You can't be anyhow. Yes, there is loyalty in you. Yes, you are the child of the king. You are from the royal family. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? So you are careful what you're doing, how you treat people, while you are doing the job. Because you are aware that apart from that job, there is something else you are here. They make you CEO. The same thing. I hope you know one day you can lose that job. But as long as you don't lose yourself, you are going to bounce back. Don't lose yourself because you are doing a job. The fourth level is imagination or creation. That's where innovation, invention, creativity. This is the realm where you work with idea. God is a creator. He made us in his image. One of his qualities that is in us is innovation, is creativity, is invention. Your field requires a lot of it. Because you have to keep coming up with music, and sitting in studio to create. And a one that preaches the gospel, it requires a lot of it. Because you can't just be recycling yourself. You have to keep getting fresh insight. And that requires time to think. That requires time. So you see now, and this is where entrepreneurs are. Because what drives business is innovation. To be ahead of the competitors. So if you are just there running up and down, you don't have time to think. You don't have time for strategy. You don't have time for innovation. It's not just that as a leader that you have to think. You can even get some people, a group of people, put them together to be doing brainstorming for you. And you have to have time to sit with them. Is somebody hearing what I'm saying? Look for a business you can start apart from that job that you are doing. If you create anything that is worth 20 pounds, just 20 pounds, and this is not a serious value, 20 pounds, use communication level 3 to sell it to 50,000 people. Only 50,000 people that put 20 pounds in what you are doing. You have made 1 million pounds. And if you have 50,000 people following you online, you're not doing well. People are having 12 million. People are having 1 million. People are having... That's why it's time to build. You need to gain a voice. You're in a digital age. The real money now is not by all this up and down. No, it's now electronic money. Whether it is a design of this suit, and you can come out with the innovation, you can go out there in UK and find one of these, and they design it for you. And they can brand it. Now you can a brand, Kani suits. Just your margin is 20. I don't care whether it's 170 pounds. I don't care whatever. But you have built 20. That's not a lot of money to make for a suit. The amount of creativity involved in making it, you should make more than that. But just 20. 50,000 people. You've made 1 million pounds. So, you see, the future is in entrepreneurship. That's why the Asians are dominating. Look at these 3 people group. The Jews, the Chinese, the Indians, many a time the Pakistanis stroke Lebanese sometimes. And our brothers, the Caucasians, they are the ones that did it first. But now, many Caucasians, I'm talking about whites, have fallen into the bottom line. Just this pay me, 25,000 pounds. Many of them are struggling. You are now seeing them in the streets begging. You are now seeing them among homeless people. It used to be blacks. Because wisdom is not a custody or a possession of any particular group of people. If you get it, it will elevate you. Hello. So, You see, like when I talk about delegation, I'm not saying you shouldn't do your work. Do your work, but you need to create other things. At least 2 streams of income from this year. Now and the next time I see you. The beginning of creation of value is to do a survey of the environment where you are or the environment you want to serve. Because you might live in this environment, but you want to serve a market in Africa. Or you might live here, but you want your audience or your whatever to be in America. You do a survey of that environment and find the prevailing needs, the problems that exist there. Then you come out and do analysis. That's why I say before going outward, you have to go inward. You have to do analysis of yourself, what you have to offer. That you are sure that when you start, you will be able to pursue with passion. So that you don't start it next week, you have busted it, you have changed again. It's not what every other person is doing, you go and do. There are things that are true to you. This thing, not only that I love doing it, I can really make a lot of difference from here. So, and whatever it is, will work when it's connected to the needs of the people. Don't create something that people don't want. Don't create something that people don't need. And it might be an area where a lot of people are already operating. Look at your own product or service. What and what should I add to it? Salt and pepper to make it stand out. To differentiate myself and carve out a niche for myself in the market. What will it be that I'm going to do? What additional value am I going to bring to this? I'm starting a restaurant and there are a number of people doing it. You know, I took a walk one evening and walked around this city center, this environment. We were looking for African food. Yeah. Because I've been eating all the other. I've been traveling for weeks. Been in America, all the different places, Canada. Oh, I want to eat something. And there's a section that I went to, one street there, food in the night with Pastor Sarah. Everywhere, not one. So the question would be, do you have Africans around here? Because if you go start a restaurant and they are not here, you have wasted your money. If you want to start one for them, where are they? But if you want to start here, you have to check the appetites of the people. Check both needs and wants. Sometimes people even pay more for their wants than their needs. Check what their appetite is. Hello, sir. Very few women can handle power in the family very well. They need coaching to do it well. You as kingdom woman, don't do that too. Be nice to your husband. Some of the things that sometimes men do. You say, I will never forgive him, but your boys that you are raising will do it. You forgive him. That man too is somebody's son. Be nice to your wife. Be nice to your kids. One day they are going to be in charge.